Bam Adebayo and the Miami Heat already got one win on Atlanta. They play again. Can Trae Young and the Hawks this time around get a little get back? The 7th and 8th seeds out east currently getting it on in South Beach. Trae Young and the Hawks got off to a hot start this time around. How about Young with the deuce fading away, and then DeJounte Murray pulling up. The ATL is already up double digits. Sadiq Bey knocks in the Trae. Atlanta up 13, putting up a 43-piece in the first. Second quarter, Clint Capella working his way over Adebayo. The hook shot goes. Adebayo's like, I can do some things around the rim too, using his left, the all-star. Then there's Ice Trae. Didn't make the all-star game this year. Letting you know that was a mistake. It's Ice Trae freezing the defense with that filthy hesitation move. Right before the half, it's Butler inside to Martin. Atlanta, though, led it 68-63 as we took a break. Third quarter, Trae Young with a left-hand dish to John Collins. If you can make a left-hand pass, you can go really far in basketball. Miami storming back. Butler had 26, 9, and 9. He cuts the deficit to 3 for his Miami squad in the fourth. How about Victor Oladipo? Remember him making some plays outside. Oladipo now making some plays inside the alley-oop. It's Victor Oladipo. I was listening to some Victor Oladipo music. Not a bad musician, definitely a good basketball player. Miami takes the lead. It's Young respond. He had 25. But how about this onslaught from the Heat, trying to solidify themselves as the 7th seed in the East? They go up by 5. Murray and the Hawks would try to come back late, but it's too little too late. Look at this defense from Martin. He comes away with the steal on Young. And again, it's Miami beating Atlanta. This time the game much closer, but a defeat is a defeat. 130-128, your final from South Beach. Looking at this Miami Heat team as they hover around the 7th seed out east, you know, you always look at a Jimmy Butler-led team is very dangerous in the playoffs. Keep in mind, this was a team that got to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. It wasn't the Bucks. It wasn't the Bulls. It wasn't the Knicks. It wasn't the Sixers. It was the Miami Heat, just moments away from getting back to the NBA Finals. Keep in mind, Miami's the team that got to the finals a couple years back in the bubble. They've had a lot of success in this 5-year stint. If you actually look at the teams out east that have had success, Miami's been one of the top 2, 3. The reality is, though, they still need some. If you watch Miami play, you feel that they go through stints where it just feels like this team is just unprepared and, honest to God truth, losing focus of the end goal, thinking that they can get to April and May and January and February, and that's just not how it works. You look at what this team needs. They need like a veteran point guard. It's almost like they need to go out on an open market and sign a guy for like maybe like 3 years, like an $85 million or something like that, to be like the anchor of the team, knock down shots, a guy with like championship experience. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they did sign a guy to do just that. Remember Kyle Lowry? Remember him? That man that went to Miami and just collected his retirement check, didn't he? That boy Kyle Lowry said, I'm going to South Beach to just kick it. Kyle Lowry ain't did nothing since he joined Miami. He wasn't really valuable in the postseason last year to them. He ain't been valuable at all this year for the Miami Heat. And guess what? He got another year left on his deal. He got about $30 more million coming his way next year. Ain't nothing Miami can do about it. Ain't nobody taking that contract on at this point of the game. Kyle Lowry did average about 12 points, 6 assists, and it's 100-odd games with Miami, but it ain't even felt like he's impacted the team that much. He's out with some left knee soreness, and Miami's longtime head coach, Eric Spoelstra, would not commit to him returning to this team this year. What an awful signing for Miami. They just gave him entirely too much money. He was not worth this deal. And at the time, I had my questions about the deal then. Looking up a couple years later, I feel pretty I feel like I was on the right side of history about Kyle Lowry. I thought his best days were behind him after the Raptors run to win the championship with Kawhi, and I stand pretty validated in that, man. Kyle Lowry has not been it for the Miami Heat. Let me know what you think the Heat's chances are. Look, if they stay at that 7th spot and they're able to make the playoffs at number 7, depending on who they get, they do pose matchup nightmares for a couple of those teams at the top of the Eastern Conference. Let's keep in mind, they beat the Philadelphia 76ers in the playoffs last year. They went 7 with Boston. They beat the Bucks in the bubble, obviously, a few years back. Obviously, Milwaukee's a totally different team nowadays with Jrue Holiday. I'm just saying that Miami won't be afraid of either one of those 3 behemoths that they'll most likely get in the first round. Would you pick the Heat to win against any one of those 3? It looks like they may be without Kyle Lowry for the remainder of the season. I'm out.